Hello everyone and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. It is Thursday, March the 14th, 2019, and here we are already on show number 46, 46. You ready to go, Carla?
Yes.
Alright, let's do this. As usual, Carla and I will place a link above in case you missed our last show. We do get questions at certain points in time that people don't know what link we are talking about. I think if you watch this off of YouTube or off of a similar type platform, sometimes you don't see the suggested link above. So if you don't see that, you can go to our channel, which is 5K Tennis here on YouTube. You can see all of our videos, all 1,180 of them, I think at this point, right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of videos.
Yes, it is.
Carla's been here and grinded it out with me the entire way. She used to tell me, why are we doing this? Come on, put the camera down. Jeez. I mean, we got 5 kids. They're running around everywhere. They're running ragged. You got this camera out. What?
Well, the fun times when we were outside and, getting bitten by mosquitoes and flies and every other thing, gnats and sweating and the sun in our face.
I think we'll do some videos this summer, though, outside with the gnats and the mosquitoes in the 110-degree heat, though. I enjoyed it, looking back. You do it then, and it's like, oh, my gosh, I'm sweating. It's just got mosquitoes draining my blood. Nonetheless, looking back, I think they were growing pains and fun regardless.
Yes, definitely.
By the way, Carla and I forgot. Well, we didn't forget, but we didn't realize that the Miami Open tournament begins at the beginning of next week. Challengers and the main draw, I think it's Wednesday of next week that the Miami Open begins, which is an ATP 1000 and a WTA Women's Tennis mandatory Premier.
Premier, yeah. That's a lot of tennis.
That's a lot of tennis,
Yes.
but hey, I'm glad to be here. But why I'm teasing that out there is because that means prize giveaway. Prize giveaway. Carla and I always like to do a prize giveaway for all of the major tournaments and as well, beginning here in Indian Wells this year, for the mandatory WTA Premier tournaments when accompanied by the men's ATP tournaments.
Right.
We always do a tennis racket giveaway, and then we do a second place prize as well that generally consists of strings or overgrips or tennis balls. Something along those lines, right?
Right. This
tournament for Indian Wells, we had a lot of entries for the tennis racket. No one, humbly said, but myself would still qualify.
I definitely lost. My picks didn't even make it past the first week.
And even for the second place prize, only myself would be able to qualify. I will explain. So for Indian Wells as well, for the Miami Open, we will have the same criterion to win the tennis racket and the second place prize. Subscribe to our channel so that way we can know who you are and how to contact you when the tournament expires if you win the first or second place prize. For Indian Wells and for the Miami Open, we ask that you submit your men's finalists and your women's finalists and your winners, right?
Right.
The first place prize, the racket, would be given to one that came up with at least 3 of the 4 finalists and 1 winner. So if you selected Federer, Djokovic, Serena, and Kvitova, and one of those players won the tournament and only 3 of the 4 made the final, you would win the tennis racket. And if there was a tie, we would come up with a humble way to make it even for someone to attain that. We had a lot of applicants, Serena, Kvitova, Djokovic, and so forth, but all these players have lost with the exception of Federer that I chose. Let's go. I had Federer winning the tournament, making it to the final, and everyone else had something besides that out of the many applicants. So Indian Wells has been great for the competition, but unfortunately, it has come and gone for those that applied.
It's definitely been a tournament of surprise,
For Miami, beginning next week, once the draws lock, the submissions are over. Submit who you think your women's finalists will be the men's finalists will be, and the winners of each. And if you get 3 out of the 4 finalists and at least 1 winner, you will receive one of Carla and myself, Carla and I's tennis rackets, freshly strung, used rackets, but great condition, and they will be freshly strung, and we will go from there.
Right.
On that. Second place will be for anyone that gets the most that doesn't quite get there. So if someone selects 3 out of 4 winners and a finalist, and someone else selects 2 finalists and no one else selects anything, then second place will be those finals. And again, I won for this tournament first and second place at this point. Let's go. All right. So moving forward, again, always a shout out to YTEX Strings, because they have made stringing very personal for us and help all of us out with our students attaining the right string for them. So again, big shout out to YTEX Strings there. All right, so Carla, let's jump right into matches that we missed on yesterday that we didn't complete before we recorded our show, and then into current and ongoing matches and matches upcoming tomorrow.
Well, we had a very quick match. Bianca Andreescu from Canada, the 19-year-old, defeated the 20th seed Garbine Muguruza from Spain 6-0, 6-1. Wow, what do you think of that?
Well, I think we talked about how good or how big Andreescu could actually win this match against Muguruza. I think we both chose.
I said Muguruza because of experience.
We both chose,
and I was shocked, really shocked. I mean, but Muguruza couldn't even hit a ball though yesterday. She was lost out there.
Well, I don't think that she was lost. I think Andreescu put enough pressure on her in order to make her look lost.
Well, she wasn't having a good day. There are days where it's just not your day and you can't play tennis really well. And we've all experienced that. But Andreescu didn't help by being aggressive and putting the ball away. She was 1-2. What do they call it? 1+1?
Serve +1.
Serve +1, that's what she did. I mean, it went so fast.
Both of us chose Muguruza to win yesterday, but at the end of the show, I think I especially indicated. I'm sorry to pick on you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you did say that Bianca had a.
Andreescu had a chance not only to win but win big.
Yeah, you did say that. I remember.
Andreescu is a very good player, especially for her age.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about her.
About who?
About Andreescu.
Oh, you got some secret notes over there?
Well, I mean, first of all, she's Romanian descent, okay?
So she's not Canadian, she's Romanian.
Well, no, she was born in Canada, but her parents moved back to Romania, and that's where she started training. She started her tennis at 7, that's where she actually started training. So her tennis comes from Romania. And then she moved when she was 11 years old back to Canada to train and take tennis seriously. So, I mean, she did get her foundation is in Romania. Which there are a lot of good Romanian players. One is Halep.
And she trains in Canada.
And trains in Canada. Moved back at 11 to train in Canada.
I wonder if she trains with the likes of Shapovalov, Felix Auger, Lisi M, Milos Raonic. I wonder if do they all train together? Kind of like, you know, didn't we watch something today where the young Serbian kid Kekmanovic was we know he's Serbian and we know that.
But he left when he was 13 to train in the USA. So really, to me, when you're training in the USA, that's where you should get credit.
So we started doing our research on Kekmanovic, respectively, this afternoon, after I think the likes of Millennium 13 Konstantin and also Sergeant Ivanovic were talking about Kekmanovic, but come to find out, not that it changes anything, but he's been in Bradenton, Florida, training at the IMG Academy since he was 13 years old. So I don't understand. I mean, I guess it's a political, who has the biggest dollar behind my training and so forth. But by the looks of things,
he's training with
training in the United States
coaches,
and has been for 6 years.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, I guess I don't.
Yes, he was born in Serbia. Yes, he played tennis in Serbia.
But he's been training here since he was 13.
But who's helping him is. He's in American soil in the USA. So he's getting his tennis from the USA, from IMG Academy, which is currently under investigation right now.
Wasn't IMG?
They're under investigation right now.
Wasn't IMG Academy just in the what just is in the entire limelight of media, whether it's social, whether it's paper, whether it's plastic, whatever form you get media, and I think IMG is all over it for coaches taking money for people to boast or to sway their application itinerary to whoever has the highest pocketbook. I'm not getting into that. It has nothing to do with him. I'm just saying, oddly enough, we're boasting about Kekmanovic, who's a fine young player, being Serbian, and that is, he's from there.
He's from there, but he's
been training in American tennis since he was 13. He's 19 now. I don't get it.
I guess it would be like Maria Sharapova. She's Russian, but she came to Nick Bollettieri's camp, which is now IMG, and trained there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, believe me, it's not a problem with it.
No.
There's no problem with it. The fact of the matter is, I'm saying, for decades now almost, we haven't seen anything with the blossom of American tennis, but yet the more and more people that blossom to be in the top of the game, come to find out, they all train here with American coaches, or the lot of them. But we don't hear anything about it, and not geopolitically standoffish, any way, shape, or form. But Carla and I are like, man, how do
Where are the American players?
Where are the American players?
We know now what's going on, a bit of it.
But yeah,
it's
not only the colleges that are giving away scholarships. It's internationally. We're just giving away everything, and again, it is a fine line to walk because in tennis, it's a beautiful language. It's a beautiful sport. It brings everyone together. But for so long, we hear about, for so many years, we hear about all these new players that are coming into it, and they're from all these different countries. But when we dig deeper into that, they're all training in either Bradenton, Florida, or elsewhere, Chris Evert Academy, or in Miami, or New York, or wherever it may be. But the last thing we hear about is anyone or anything that has to do with their upbringing or anything. So
in other words, the U.S. coaches are not getting credit for it.
It just seems odd to me. Not in a bad way. Again, not in a bad way. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you look like, where you train, and at all. But the odd thing is we hear about these new players, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, and everybody boasts about them, and then we knock everybody else under the sun because here in the U.S. we don't put out any players anymore. But if you really dig deeply into it, they're in the U.S. training.
Yeah.
So
I've spoken to a coach before. I won't say their name, but they have a lot of international players they train at in U.S. academies. And they train them specifically. No,
I guess the $1 million question is what it doesn't matter if you're from Timbuktu or Jupiter or Pluto, and if you're a better worker.
Well, yeah, you
should go there anyway. But why is it that we can't put John Doe from the streets of Brooklyn at the same academy with the same results? Mm-hmm. I mean, why is that?
Maybe they don't work harder. Maybe they don't work hard as these kids. I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm beginning to question it because it doesn't seem transparent, especially given what we see now on TV about $500,000 be given away by international investors because I want John Doe or Mary Jane's son or daughter to get into your place and I'll pay you. It just seems odd to me. Let's move forward. Not my call, not my question. And again, don't call us anybody that's taking sides, because if you turn this off and thumb it down and go on any sports site reading this right now, you're going to see the same thing.
He's a great player, by the way.
He's a great player.
He's beastly. He doesn't look like a 19-year-old. He's very strong looking.
He's a great player.
Definitely.
But maybe you could show like a Serbian flag split with an American flag, like, hey, we're all in this together type deal.
Probably.
Because if he's trained here since he's 13,
the coaches
it's not much different than Sharapova training here and flying a Russian flag. It's not much different than, Osaka's been training here for a while.
As well. Same thing
come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Well, another match we had last night, and I'm sorry, but this one put me to sleep. Number 6 seed, Elena Svitolina from Ukraine defeated Marketa Vondrousova, the 19-year-old. 4-6, 6-4, 6-4. That was not a great match.
Man.
That was like watching Rwanska and Wozniacki play, or Rwanska against Rwanska.
It was like Rozwanska playing Rozwanska.
That was bad. I wasn't impressed with the 19-year-old after watching her play Svitolina, I was like, wow, I thought that she would come out with weapons, and it was just, I don't know.
Well, we watched the first set, and we were like, wow. It was like an hour in, and we were like, ooh, that was kind of tiring just watching them play. Then
it took forever. It took forever to finish the second set.
Yeah, and then we watched the second set, and we were like, wow, I think we...
And I was pumped up for Monfils. I wanted to watch that match.
Yeah,
and by the time Monfils match came, I said, it's 11 o'clock here. Forget it.
Yeah, and then it got to... then it was like 1-1 in the third set, if I remember correctly, and we turned it just to do a little bit of research on some other matches, and we went back, and I don't want to exexaggerate, but I think it was like 45 minutes later,
2-2.
And it was 2-2 in the third. We're like, dude. Anyway.
So Bianca Andreescu will play Elina Svitolina. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's 24 years old. She's won 13 WTA singles titles. Take away 4 minutes from that. And she started tennis at 5. Her dad's a wrestler. Her mom was a competitor.
Wrestler?
Yeah, wrestler.
Pardon me while I get up and check the camera. People always ask why we get up. We have 5 kids and I have a 3-year-old and I'm just checking on. Keep going.
Well,
Sorry.
her mother was a competitive rower. And she also says that she was offered a lot of money to change her flag. But she said, no, I'm going to play for Ukraine. So this is one player that didn't give up her flag for more money.
Svitolina, by the way, for me, a couple of years ago was one of the next best things, okay? I began to worry about Svitolina in the past, say, year and a half as she began to thin herself out.
She looks good now, though.
But she has come back into it. We watched this match yesterday, at least a good bit of it.
A good bit of it,
A good bit of it. She looks good again. I'm not saying she looked bad, but for a while there, she went from strong Svitolina to a much thinner Svitolina, and now she's back to stronger Svitolina. Great job for Svitolina to win this match. I like Svitolina. I like this pair-up that she has with Gael Monfils. I mean, look at Monfils. For me, he's one of my favorite players.
He is. He's fun to watch.
I mean,
he makes tennis so exciting.
Fun and happy, and he has these big, bright, shiny eyes that make you just want to go watch him play. You know, he's a happy guy, you know, and I'm really happy for Monfils here. Really.
Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, we got a party foul. Monfils, though, seriously, he is an absolute joy to watch play. Furthermore, to see Monfils being happy with Svitolina that a couple years ago or a year and a half ago was thinning out and falling away on the tennis tour to jumping back into it and getting strong again, I'm standing ovation. I mean,
they're doing good for each other.
Good for each other, good for one another. I hope that Gael Monfils wins a major.
I hope so.
I hope so. Even as huge of a Federer fan and second Djokovic fan that I am, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. If Gael Monfils played either one of them in a final, I would hope Monfils wins. Monfils deserves a major.
He's so talented. I mean, he's a natural athlete. The way he jumps, runs, gets to the balls, you know, his shot selection, maybe now he's taking it seriously. I don't know.
I hope so.
Well, the match that was going on and just finished pretty quickly, actually. Milos Raonic from Canada defeated the young 19-year-old Serbian Mishma, and I thought his name was Miomir, but I've heard a commentator say Mishma.
Yeah.
Kemanovic. He beat him 6-4, 6-3.
Honestly, I was hoping that Mishma Kekmanovic would win. I was hoping Kekmanovic.
I expected the veteran to win.
We expected, Raonic to win, but we wanted, both of us wanted Kekmanovic to win.
Yes,
to win.
So he's waiting for the winner of Dominic Thiem and Gael Monfils, who play tonight.
I look forward to that match, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I definitely hope Gael Monfils wins. I am sorry that the young man Kekmanovic wins, or that did not win against Raonic. After we did our research on Kekmanovic and where he's trained and where he's from and everything in between, I think it would have been good at this point in time for him to win and win big over Raonic, to give IMG some credit. After all, they're in the midst of
They're going to need it.
They're going to need a whole lot of credit at this point in
Yeah.
time. When it was Nick Balotelli's academy, didn't you spend a little bit of time there, Carla?
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of foreign players there at that time too.
Anyway, the plot thickens. Too bad Kekmanovic lost here. I'm glad he is here, and hopefully he goes a lot further. and hopefully give shout outs to where he has trained since he was 13.
Definitely. Well, last night, the number 7 seed, Dominic Thiem from Austria, defeated the big 40-year-old man, Ivo Karlovic from Croatia, 6-4, 6-3.
I hated to see the 40-year-old go.
You know what? Thiem actually returned pretty well. He was attacking. Otherwise, it would have been a 7-6, 7-6.
Well, I haven't seen the statistics of Ivo's first serve percentage, but I'm assuming they were in the 60s somewhere. I'm assuming. Because if Karlovic serves in the 70s and above, well, let's say a C plus average, 76%.
His service percentage was 64%.
Told you. Told you. It's nothing new to me. I have a big serve. I can't, like when I play you, I can't compete with you hitting back and forth. I count on my serve plus 1. Serve and a shot, and that's about it. Serve, 1 shot, come to that, put it away. But if I try to battle out with you on the baseline, it's out. This is the same thing with Isner, same thing with Karlovic, same thing with Delpelka, same thing with Anderson, same thing with Query. It's the same thing with any huge server that just relies on that and then a shot or two. If you're serving in the 60s, there is absolutely no way you're going to be beating someone that's returning in the high 70s or 80s. It's statistically impossible.
That's very true.
And that's what happened.
Also, this match that we didn't really get to watch went by pretty quickly. Gael Monfils from France defeated Philipp Kohlschreiber from Germany, 6-0. 6-2.
He didn't just beat him, he destroyed him.
He destroyed him.
Now, whatever was going on, and now
destroyed him.
Here's something we're going to bring up real quickly. Repeat that score.
6-0, 6-2.
6-0, 6-2. So Monfils beats Kohlschreiber 6-0, 6-2. Kohlschreiber derails, I'm not going to say destroys, but derails Djokovic routinely in straight sets. Routinely, not destroyed, but routinely. We read an article that Nick Kyrgios was quoted in, and I'm going to side with Nick Kyrgios for once.
I will too.
On this article.
I will too.
The context of the article is, this is somewhat quoting, not verbatim, somewhat quoting. How is it? Now, I'm going to pretend I'm Nick Kyrgios, I guess, based upon what we read, right? So I'm going to hopefully quote it right.
Right.
How is it that I lose to Kohlschreiber and everyone says that I just don't care and I'm a schmuck and I'm a thug?
He's a loser.
I'm a loser. But yet when Djokovic loses to the same guy, everybody's like, oh, there must just be something wrong with Djokovic, or I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
But
we heard a lot of excuses from fans.
But when everyone says that, oh, Kyrgios just lost to Kohlschreiber, he's a schmuck, he doesn't care, we want our money back. But when Djokovic loses to Kohlschreiber, it's like, oh, I hope he's okay. I understand that. It's not cool. Again, I'm a Djokovic fan. I am, truly.
I didn't even know he smashed his racket on his foot. I missed that whole thing.
Yeah, and then the media missed the whole deal where he smashed a racket on his foot. I missed that completely.
I thought that meant give that racket to someone in Serbia. One of the kids.
Look,
there's many kids that want to play in Serbia, I'm sure.
You and I have given nightmarish reviews to those that break rackets like Benoit Pierre and Baghdadis, and we've even digging into Federer back in Indian Wells many, many years ago when he smashed a racket on the floor there. Or it might have been Miami. I don't recall that racket smash, but nonetheless, if you're number one in the world, man, don't break a racket. It's cheesy. Donate that to somebody. Donate it to me.
Give it to some kid in Serbia that I'm sure wants
to
learn how to play tennis because of you.
Number one in the world, breaking rackets. That's stupid.
So, and I heard a lot of fans say, oh, it didn't matter to him. Well, you wouldn't have smashed that racket on your foot if it didn't matter to you.
It matters to me.
It very matters. It mattered to him. And I read an article where he said, I hate losing to anyone.
Well, it matters to me as a dad of 5 kids, and I have to dig deep to get them new tennis rackets, even used, and I watch someone that's ranked number one in the world with 15 majors that leads the ATP's politics, smashing rackets in the ground. Whatever, man. Smashing rackets, go hang out with Gimbal Stop. If you want to reseal that racket and donate it, I hate a racket smasher.
Yeah.
I hate a racket smasher.
That was not good.
And not good at all.
And there was a few comments from a few viewers that left about Djokovic, the reason why he lost. Do you want me to read them?
What? Okay, read one.
Okay.
Read who's writing it, though.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. By the way, I definitely feel what Nick Kyrgios was saying. Why is it if he loses to anyone, it's that he doesn't care? But when anyone else loses to someone that they're not supposed to lose to, it's like, are you okay? I hope they are okay. Why is that?
I don't know. But this is a good comment from a viewer of ours. His name is actually Dushan Dramichanen. So he says, first time I comment. Thank you for the very nice words about me and my name. And he explains how to say his name. I'm a diehard Djokovic fan. Small comment on Djokovic. Kohlschreiber's match, Djokovic played awfully, like last year's Indian Wells, and also something was wrong health-wise, like against Vucevic in the U.S. Open. Nobody, not even commentators, not even you, asked if he had an health issue. Djokovic never wanted to talk about them. He had an elbow problem for more than a year, and when we found out about it in Wimbledon. I fear maybe he has an elbow injury again. He got a bottle with something during the match with Kohlschreiber. Injury or not, he always stresses his opponent good game, never his own health issues. If anything's wrong, we will find out in Miami.
Djokovic has been asking for bottles of pain medicine since the U.S. Open.
I've seen him screaming at his wife and his trainers. I've seen it, and I said, Justin, what is he screaming at? And we see a bottle, and I'm sure it's, they're athletes.
The both of us have
they're
been,
in a lot of pain.
The both of us have been competitive tennis players and traveling tennis players for a very long time. There's nothing new about taking things on court and whatever you need to do to make sure that you can play and you're good to go. There's nothing wrong with that, okay?
No, there's nothing.
First and foremost, there's nothing wrong with that.
They're athletes and they go through a lot of pain.
But we cannot continue to do things like we just brought up with Kyrgios. Something's
wrong with
okay, so Kyrgios loses the Kohlschreiber. It's not, I hope his elbow's okay. I bet he has another injury. It's just that he's just another thug. But when Djokovic loses, then it's like, oh, he's got another injury. It's not equal.
I said that perhaps because of all the politics that he's going through right now, perhaps that's consumed his mind. Also,
mental?
He has not played a tournament since the Australian Open. He's rusty. And that's a fact.
That's it.
He's rusty. That's a fact. I don't think he's injured. I think he's rusty. He needs a few more matches.
Yeah, and again, don't play this that we're hating on Djokovic. It's not that at all. It's not that Djokovic that we're talking about. It's more like the fans that are Djokovic because I think we lose track that there's a lot of players out there that are hungry, not just Djokovic. Yeah. Djokovic, again, is consumed right now with off-court stuff.
He has a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Well, let me read another one.
It's not injuries. It's not anything more than being consumed off-court.
Well, Dark Knight says, Djokovic caused a rift in the men's game with his decision of ousting Kermod. There's only a few players agreeing and defending Novak with the majority against him. It definitely showed with his play, barely beating Frantangelo and getting owned by Kohlschreiber. He seems to always have a dip after being dominated in bigger tournaments. It's his M.O. Nadal and Federer are just built different. They stay consistent and don't implode the way Novak tends to do. I look forward to Rafa and Roger semis in California. I hope Nadal takes revenge for losing 4 straight to Federer. Vamos, Rafa. So he pretty much said what I said. That he's going through a lot political stuff right now, and his mind is just not there. Plus, he's rusty. He is rusty.
We're all human beings, and again, if you bleed this game in terms of have played it, study it for a whole long time. Look, today, I know no one cares about Carla and our matches, and I'm not going there. We went out to the court today, and neither one of us, we were like, let's go play. So we started playing a set. She wasn't there. I wasn't there. We both tried to fool ourselves that we were there and just ended up just swatting balls all over the place and coming back to the house. It takes an incredible amount of focus and energy to go out on a tennis court one day, much less day after day.
He's not perfect. He's a human being. He's a human being. He's allowed to lose.
So you can't tell us anymore that we're not Djokovic fans because we think he won't win a tournament when he's just a human being and he was consumed with other things.
He's a human being.
Just like everyone else on this planet, right?
Well, let's go on to the next match. Hubert Hurkacz from Poland defeated the 24th seed Denis Shapovalov from Canada in 3 sets. Good match for Hurkacz.
That's a great match for Hurkacz, by the way.
Yes, and he will face off Roger Federer from Switzerland, who defeated pretty quickly Kyle Edmund from United Kingdom, 6-1, 6-4.
Federer, again, I picked Federer in this tournament to win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I think Federer will definitely beat Hurkacz and definitely move on into the semis.
I think so too. I agree with you. Remember, less than 4 minutes.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we watched this match. Karen Khachanov, and thank you for the pronunciation. I thought I heard it was Khachanov instead of Khachanov. From Russia, defeated John Isner 6-4, 7-6. and will be facing Rafael Nadal from Spain, who beat Filip Krajinovic 6-3, 6-4.
We talked about yesterday, Carla, that Khachanov could serve equally as big as Isner. Maybe not quite, but close.
He played the points better.
And that Khachanov had a ground game where Isner just had maybe serve plus one. Well, Khachanov has serve plus a few. As long as the statistics were about equal service-wise, Khachanov would win, and that's exactly what happened. I think Nadal will eat Khachanov up for lunch, and I think we are set up for a Nadal-Federer semifinal. Who you got, Carla, in that match?
Come on, you really asking that?
She's got Nadal, already know.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Federer in that match, Federer against Nadal. They haven't gotten there yet, but I'm assuming that's what's going to occur. I'm going to take Federer over Nadal, and for Federer to end up meeting Yao Monfils in an epic final.
Very good final.
Okay.
Well, today, the women started playing. The first match to play and finish was 23 seed Belinda Bencic from Switzerland, who defeated Karolina Pliskova from the Czech Republic in 3 sets.
You know, Pliskova tends to say that every time that she wins, well, not every time, I'm exaggerating, but at least at the Australian Open, when Osaka beat her in the 3rd set, said that, well, if Osaka would play, Osaka could never match that level of play again, otherwise I would have won.
Well, hey, Conchita Martinez came down to give her some tennis coaching, and she gave her some good tips, but I guess she didn't really listen. Plus, let me tell you a little bit about Belinda Bencic. She is actually Slovak descent and started playing tennis at 4. She trained with Martina Hingis' mom at age 7, which now explains her style of play. Why she's so smart. Hingis was so smart with her shots. She can, she can take away the power. She can come into the net. She could change the pace, and this is what Bencic does. And I told a lot of viewers, if Pliskova does not end the point,
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, it's over for her, and that's exactly what happened.
Bencic, again, I'm not going to rediscuss this, if that's even a word, but Bencic has been a lights-out player for a while due to injuries. She missed a lot of last year. She's back. I'm going to harp on Pliskova for a minute, who I like a lot, and I always have, and I still think she will win her first major. But again, it seems like recently, when she gets beaten, especially at the Australian Open with the likes of Osaka, that she tends to say, oh, well, they played the best that they would ever play, talking about Osaka. Well, Osaka only beat me, close to the quote. She only beat me because she played the best she'll ever play, and she'll never be able to play like that again. Shortly after that, Shuai Sai from Taiwan beat her in Dubai, so I guess she played the best she ever played and can never replicate that.
Well, Bencic just won the Dubai.
She
won Dubai, and she beat a lot of top players to get there.
So I'm guessing Pliskova will now say that Bencic played the best that she'll ever play, and no one will ever beat her again, or play like that again. Word to Pliskova, I love you. I've been a fan for a long time, and I still am. But if you want to win a major, finally, dig deep.
Learn how to volley.
Learn how to volley. Yes. And learn how to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, you can't always hit hard. You
Variety, slice, dice.
Learn how to. Yeah, she had many shots at the net, and they just went down to the net.
Work on the net
game. And she's
game.
tall. All she has to do is really bend. I just didn't get that. But
Anyway, best of luck. I'm with you, Pliskova. I think you can win Wimbledon.
Well, next match that took place tonight is Venus Williams against Angelique Kerber from Germany.
That's gonna be a good match.
The head-to-head there is 3-5.
Whose way?
I'm sorry, no, 3-5. It's Venus lost. She's won 3 times and 5 Angelique Kerber. And the last time Angelique Kerber beat her was at the Australian Open 2018.
I think Kerber wins this again.
Me too.
I hope Venus does win this. I'm a huge Venus fan.
I'm rooting for Kerber.
And Venus, I think, can even win another Wimbledon, honestly. And someone laughed at me when I said Venus could win the French. But I'm not saying she will, but she could.
I don't think so.
I don't think she will, but
at
this point, would you rather pick Ostapenko to win the French again,
no.
or would you rather, if you had to choose between Venus and Ostapenko, who would you choose? You would pick Venus at this point. So if you would pick Venus,
actually, that's a toss-up, really.
But Ostapenko hasn't won a match in like 17 years.
Okay, well, Belinda Bencic is waiting for the winner there. Against Venus, she has a head-to-head 4-1, and against Kerber, 1-3.
We'll see what happens there. Go Venus.
And by the way, Gael Monfils was the last match. I did mention it before against Dominic Thiem, and he has never beaten Dominic Thiem, by the way. 4-0. Dominic Thiem's up on him.
I think Monfils will win it the first time. What's love got to do with it is what I say. Svitolina will give Monfils the mojo to take out Thiem. Svitolina's mojo gives Monfils the ability to take out Thiem for the first time.
I think so too.
All right?
I agree with you.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, finishing news. Del Potro, Martin Del Potro won the U.S. Open. Oh, and a heartbreaker against Federer when he was up 2-1. But Juan Martin Del Potro will have what looks like to be another knee surgery. Does he come back from this? 4 wrist surgeries and now a second on the knee. Does he ever come back?
I don't think so. I mean, if he comes back, he's not going to win another Grand Slam.
We'll see. Much love to Del Potro. I like the guy a lot. I think we like him a lot. And we wish Del Potro the best. Hopefully that you make it back and do big things. At this point, though, it's seeming a little bit dicey to even risk it. All right, so that's it, everyone. Thanks so much to all of you. Today was kind of a thrown-together show in a way, but we wanted to kind of be ourselves today and just kind of bring some noise. Got the Woody on the stringer back here.
Today.
Got feisty today, but that's okay. Subscribe to our channel. Please share our videos. Please click a like below. Again, we have a goal for this year to get to a certain number of subscribers, and we're slowly getting there. But let's hit our number, which is 1,000. And I think right now we're at 379. So let's hit 1,000 this year, and let's do it together. So anyway, thanks so much to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow. And as the lovely Carla always says,
Adios.